Hello. Okay, guys, so some of you asked me to tell you a little bit more about the techniques I used in this little video in here. And like I would like to start with a little disclaimer because it's not really any kind of a game changer. It uh, needs a lot of work and patience, and it's not very versatile. I mean, it's definitely not for animating very complicated animations. More like for stuff like this. I mean, animating some talking characters in close-ups and the little bit of the head turns. Definitely not 180 degrees or like turns. So uh, it has its limitations, but it gives some actually pretty cool effects. And if you want to listen about it, then here it is. Okay, so as you can see here in the outliner, the scene is not really that complicated. I mean, it contains like camera, two grease pencil objects, three lights, and the lattice. Okay, we'll get back to this in a minute. Maybe let's start with the background object. It's a flat grease pencil object, and it's pretty simple. I mean, it contains, as you can see in here, it contains four layers. Actually, the top one, like the holdout, it's just like for cutting a little bit of unnecessary stuff at the edges. I'm using like the holdout material in here, so you can create any kind of material. In my case, it's a fill material, and if you enable this holdout option, you can kind of cut holes in your artwork. So it's kind of cool. And yeah, so this is like the top layer, and the second one in the stack is the overlay, and this is the layer which kind of creates this painterly sketchy effect. So let me turn off the overlays and show you what it does. I mean, if I will turn it off, it becomes well, much more digital, right? And what I have done in here, I used a special material. I created a material which looks like that. It doesn't have any stroke, so it's only a fill material, but it uses like, instead of the default solid style, it uses a texture. And yeah, and this texture, I created it couple of months ago, and I'm overusing it. Like, I'm using it way too much. It looks more or less like this, so nothing fancy. This is like just I don't know, like, as far as I remember, I took like some piece of paper uh, with some fabric, and yeah, and put some like pencil strokes on it, scan it, made it seamless in Photoshop or in Krita. I think it was in Krita, and yeah, and there it is. So probably you can do much better than this. And because it's seamless, you can actually, like, maybe let's create one more layer. Let's turn off this one. Because it's seamless, you can pretty easily draw with it like this. So it's kind of cool. So the other thing about this layer is that it uses like different blending mode. Like, instead, the regular blending mode, which is set by default into any newly created grease pencil layer. In this case, I use multiply. I wish there would be some more options here, like you're used to see in like other softwares like Photoshop, Krita, whatever. Like, the one which I miss the most is obviously overlay. But yeah, but with some patience and some tests, well, I decided to go for multiply, and it kind of works for me. So yeah. Mm, you might ask why it's so bluish. Well, we'll get back to this like later on, because it actually it's actually the 3D light which is causing this tint. But we'll get back to this in a moment. Okay, so next layer in the stack, like this is the actual artwork. And well, actually you can do whatever you want. I use like kind of weird technique in here. Or maybe let's go like to the bottom layer, because it's just a solid layer. I mean, if I would turn off the lights, like if I, or for example, go to the viewport shading, like the solid viewport shading, um, you can see this is just a like pretty simple fill material, like grayish fill material. And the other materials I use in this scene, they are all fill materials. I mean, there is like one stroke material, but I haven't used it actually, probably. So I can might as well delete it. So yeah, but I use only three materials in here, and what's so special about them is like the opacity is well, it's pretty low in every case. So as you can see, the alpha is set to like some very small values. And just as I said, like this is the more about like your artistic choices, not about some stuff which you have to do. But the cool thing with this like way of working, it's more or less like you would work with the watercolors. I mean, starting with the very light values, and then going darker and darker by putting another layers and stuff like that. So more or less it was made like this. And as you can see, I used only like three hues for this whole scene. It looks like it could be like more, but it's all because like I don't know, they blend together in a special way and create this cool effect. And cool thing about working with limited amount of materials is that you have a lot of control over everything. So if I start to like play around with the hues, I can get different results. And if I'm not very sure about the final result at the beginning, I can pretty much like reinvent the whole color scheme at the moment. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so like there is not much more about this background layer. I mean background grease pencil object. For sure, like the character is much more complicated. As you can see, I created a lot of layers in here, and it was actually, when it comes to like painting it, it was made pretty much the same way like the background. So it was like using only those free materials. I could pretty much probably delete all the rest. Well, there is something. Okay. Yeah, I shouldn't delete the. For sure, I shouldn't delete the this one with the texture on it. So yeah, because actually I'm using a different material, but as you can see, I'm deleting all the materials, like cleaning up the stuff, and nothing changes. That means that the only stuff I used were the like those materials, and this is the pretty much the same workflow as with the background. So at the very bottom of the stack, there is like there is a layer which kind of makes a I don't know, the basis for the whole artwork, and then One by one I was adding some stuff, like, I don't know, like eyebrows, uh, eyelids, eyes, nose, mouth, and stuff like that. And the reason for that was that if you got it like on separate layers, you have so much more control, because animating in here was done pretty much like uh, only with the sculpting tools. So there was there was no need for repainting the whole artwork. It would be pretty painful actually, because like there is a lot of strokes in here. I mean, technically are they are not strokes, they are like just I don't know, spots of fills. But yeah, anyway, it would be pretty hard job to do it. Like if you would like to, I don't know, treat it as a, I don't know, like some kind of frame by frame animation. That would be pretty cruel for the animators. Okay, so instead of redrawing the particular keyframes, I resculpted them. That's but if you want to work in this in that manner, like you probably want to like prepare all the layers and like have everything separated, because the more control you have, the more things you're able to do, right? So this is why like all the features of his face are on the separate layers. And on top of everything, this is like pretty much the same thing like with the background. I've got this material. In this case, I mean, for the background I use the multiply blending mode. Here it's like the hard light, and the opacity of the whole layer is lowered down to like 0.2 and something, right? Okay, so what about the anime? How, one more thing, like the overlay layer actually use masking. So I made it like this, that this layer, like with the overlay with this pencil texture, is masked by the bottom layer. So like to do so, you need to enable a mask in here, and then choose the particular layer from the list, and that's all. Okay, yeah. When it comes to animation, like let me show you, let me show you how it goes with the. For example, let's take the eyebrows. This is pretty easy, so maybe it would be better to show you what I mean. Uh, right now, all the layers besides eyebrows are locked, and I can do it by hitting this icon in here, this padlock icon, and yeah, and right now like everything is locked besides the eyebrows. So I can go to sculpting mode. By the way, if you have the overlays on, which is sometimes useful, probably you have like the edit lines on by default, and it looks like this, and it's kind of distracting. I mean, it helps if you want to choose some particular strokes that you made. Choose it in the edit mode, or something like that. But if you want to get like nice artistic results, it's probably better to not see it. So you can always turn off the edit lines in here, or you can just turn off the overlays. Like I haven't been using like the onion skins in here too much, so I don't really need any of the overlays while resculpting the artwork. So yeah, let's try to resculpt it. I'm right now in the sculpting mode, and yeah, I usually like to use the push brush. Uh, like the grab and the push brush, they work pretty much the same. I mean, almost the same. Only the grab brush is like it's much stronger, so it kind of. I mean, the results are too strong for me, so I prefer like the softer results which I can get with the push brush. And yeah, if I would like to like make him like kind of angry, and as you can see, nothing else is being affected because everything is locked. So right now I'm using only like I'm working only on his eyebrows, right? The cool part is that you can always interpolate it if you feel it's necessary, and you got cool tools like for it. Uh, Actually, they are not available in the sculpting mode, which kind of sucks. But yeah, but if you go to draw mode or edit mode, you can choose like this little tool in here, which is called interpolate. Uh, and yeah, mine is set to affect all layers, but when all layers beside the eyebrows are locked, it will affect only eyebrows anyway. So yeah. Uh, and right now I can like interpolate it. I don't know if you can see it. It's in the top left corner of the interface. Right now I can choose like mm, how like the interpolation percent. So right now it's 50%, so it's right in the middle. And yeah, so we've got like started animating our eyebrows, right? Okay, so let's delete it. And the reason I decided that I want like the eyebrows to be on the separate layer and the eyelids and the eyes, it's because, for example, if I would like to only to change the position of the eyes without moving the eyebrows, it's kind of easy to do because everything is locked. So if I would like to like make him like look sideways, I can do it like pretty easily. Maybe in the opposite direction. Yeah, it takes some practice to get this right, but once you master this, it's pretty cool technique. So yeah, and actually the reason for the eyelids to be on the separate layers is that it's much easier to create like the blinking and everything. So like especially blinking, because you don't really want to when you are resculpting the eyelids, you don't really want like the eyes to be affected. Like that's how the things usually do. What's interesting about this one is like that. Let me show you. Like his mouth is kind of special because I wanted to animate some kind of talking animation. So I needed pretty much a lot of control over his mouth. So actually, to cover like the mouth animation, I needed like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different layers. Yeah, like so. This is like the mouth top, mouth bottom, and if I would like turn off everything, because besides like the mouth top and the mouth bottom, you can see there is like the shape of the mouth, but also there is like some like there is some solid stuff like which is covering the things which are beneath, which are like the teeth and the inside of the mouth, which is just like some kind of dark spot, nothing fancy. Yeah, so in this way I can really resculpt stuff with a lot of like artistic freedom. For example, if I want to open his mouth, like the bottom part, I would lock the mouth top and the teeth, like top teeth, and unlock the mouth bottom and the teeth bottom. And right now, if I would start to resculpt it, like it kind of opens his mouth. And if I want to like focus on the teeth, I can do it like this. So I can get like all kinds of crazy shapes, just like mm, just by resculpting stuff. And the cool thing is if I resculpt the stuff, I can easily interpolate it. So it's even better because like uh, sometimes you need to fill the in betweens, and if you got like a lot of shading and a lot of strokes, like the results might be like I don't know, like might look pretty weird because it's not very easy uh, to make in betweens for such complex set of strokes. And if you have a possibility to do it like without redrawing it, just by interpolating it, this is kind of cool. Okay, so yeah, the interesting part like is in here, because his whole head kind of animates. Let me show you. So I made all these sculpting animations, but I want to have some more control, so I can animate the whole silhouette, the whole grease pencil object, while having like the animation ready. Like, and I was thinking about some ways to do it. I could do it with bones probably, but it's always tricky. So I decided to use like let me go to the modifiers panel. As you can see, I have like some color adjustment in here, some noise, which causes like this flickering and everything. I really like this effect. And but besides that, I have like this lattice modifier, and here I've got like lattice. And if you don't know how lattice works, well, probably you should like check out some other tutorials on YouTube, because well, there's a lot of good stuff in online, and I don't think it's like a good idea to reinvent the wheel. Check out the lattice; it works pretty much the same for 3D shapes, like for the grease pencil. So just don't worry about it, and try to understand lattice with some more sensible tutorials from the other Blender users which are already there. But the thing with the lattice is that normally you wouldn't be able to animate it. To do it, you need to actually turn on one add-on, which is like the built-in add-on, so you don't have to download anything, just like enable it in preferences. And I'm pretty sure it's called, let's go to add-ons, I think it's called Animate All. Yeah, Anim All, yeah, this is the name. And when you enable it, you get this usually when you enable new add-ons, whatever it's like something you download or just built-in add-ons, there will be some stuff appearing in here. The same thing goes with this Anim All add-on. And what's cool about it, it's that right now I'm able to animate when I'm in edit mode of the lattice. I can kind of animate all the like put the keyframes for these points in the lattice. Oh, one more thing. Normally lattice would appear as a, for example, let me add some brand new lattice. It would look like this, because normally you would like to deform like the 3D shapes with it, and to make it more usable for the 2D drawings for the flat drawings, I just like reduce the this value in here and increase the U and V factors. Yeah, and it looks like this. Okay, let's get rid of it. And the cool thing is that you can actually animate the character like by stretching like the, like the and moving around the points of the lattice. So it's kind of cool. It has some limitations, and I wouldn't recommend it as a like standalone animation method. But in when you are using it along with, for example, this sculpting technique, this is kind of cool. The thing you have to remember when you're using this anim all add-on, first of all, you need to enable like that you want to animate the locations of particular points. By the way, you can animate the particular points of the 3D meshes as well, so it's kind of cool. But every time you change something, you need to insert a key, and you have to remember about it. And what it does, it actually inserts like a key for each particular point of this lattice in that case. Okay, so there is not much more left to say about this scene, because like there are some obvious stuff in here, like animation of the camera, and the last cool thing are the lights, I think, because both GP grease pencil objects in here, they both use 3D lights. What's special about 3D lights working with grease pencil objects is that, first of all, maybe let me show you where are the lights positioned. Like the first one is the spotlight, which kind of like shines on the character and on the background as well. And there are like 2-point lights which like are behind the character. And as far as I know, every time you put, like from the point of view of the camera, every time when you put the light behind the object, it won't affect the object at all. So let me show you. Like if I would go, for example, to the camera view and turn off like both of these lights, it doesn't change the look of the character, because it's only affected by the light which is in front of it. While working with 3D meshes and 3D objects, you would expect that like the light which is, for example, behind the default cube, it would create like some small rim or whatever. In case like of a grease pencil object, if the light is behind the object, it kind of doesn't affect it at all. And this is, sometimes it's bad, but if you get used to it, you can use it for your own, I don't know, like it's kind of cool sometimes. So yeah, like in here I have, just as I said, like only three lights. One shines on the character. One is like making the background visible. This is this one, and the last one acts as a more or less like some additional light for this weird lamp or whatever. Yeah, so like this is more or less all. As I said, it's not very complicated scene. It's a little bit tedious to create it, because there's a lot of strokes and everything, but it's fun. And the cool thing is, if I would like to reuse this character, for example, I don't know if it would be like some kind of character for the cutscene in a game or whatever, where like he shows up when there is like some dialogue stuff going on, I could pretty much reuse all this talking animation and this I don't know, like pretty simple movements. And it's the coolest part about it is that you can really change his appearance, his mood, like pretty easily. Because if I would like, for example, right now I'll just lock like the overlay, and all the rest is unlocked, and I would like to make his, I don't know, appearance pretty mean. So it's, as you can see, it's not that hard, and it takes just a few moments. And the cool thing is that I can easily interpolate one state into the other. So yeah, that's it. Okay, guys. So I think it's enough for today. Hope you will get some fun with grease pencil, and see you next time. Bye.
Why